It's 100 push-up challenge. So it's like a 6 week program to be able to do 100 push-ups without stopping.
Oh, that sounds intense. I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like did the little test this morning to see how I should start. And then it tells you based off of what you did, like what you should do Monday, Wednesday,
Right.
Friday.
That makes sense.
Yep. So
I'll have to think about that one.
I've
I've been trying to
started
do
it
more
like
core
four or
stuff, but
five
yeah.
times and I never make it past week 4.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard, man, but I think it's good. It helps the body and it helps the mind.
Yeah. And I feel like if I tell other people that I'm doing things that one day someone's gonna be like, "Hey, did you do that?" And I'll be like, "No."
Yeah,
And then I'll
accountability
slow down and then I'll
checks.
start doing it again.
Yep. That's when the pressure really starts to add up.
Oh.
You got to actually start doing it.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, what questions do you all have this morning? I'm okay if it's none, because it's Friday and it
I don't
looks like
know
a nice
how
day outside.
how would you do a door knocking situation with what would you call it? Distressed properties. How would you tackle those?
Um, I don't like talking about distressed properties because I feel like it's an awkward conversation. Like, hi, I'm here because you're bad at making payments to your home. Would you like some money? I can help get you some if you pay me money. Like, it's a weird conversation. Um, but if you come from a, hey, I'm talking to all of the neighbors, or I have a buyer in the area that's looking. Have you ever thought of selling? Like almost like shift the conversation to like a normal door knocking. Like I'm the local real estate expert in the area and I'm doing price analysis for the all the neighbors. Would you be interested in what your home is worth if it were to sell on the market today? And then that just becomes more questions if they're like, yeah, I'd love to know what my house is worth. And then you can be like, okay, well, there's actually a few different ways I can do this. I can give you like if we put the market on the house on the market right now, what you would make, or in the future, like what are the chances that you would move in the next few months? And just kind of open the door, these open-ended questions to get them talking, get them uh, conversing with you about what's going on in their life. And then some of that might come out like, you know what, actually, we need to sell the house. They probably won't say, oh, we haven't made our payment for a while, so we should sell the house. They'll be like, yeah, maybe they'll say we've had some money issues or we have a bunch of equity that, or like, hopefully we have some equity because we'd like to sell and move to something else. They'll make it not about the money, but you'll know that that's what it's about and you can kind of run numbers and things and start to build a relationship with them. So that's
Okay.
like the easy out.
And that's what I was doing yesterday was the CMA script, and that seemed to be
Uh-huh.
working pretty well. Um, Follow-up question, just a quick one. I brought my
Yeah.
dog, and for half of that door knocking trip, it was great. It was like my foot in the door where people were asking me, "Oh, you have a cute dog. What's his name?" And then I get in from there.
Hmm.
Then I ran into a house where the door was open and the dogs came charging out, and it was this whole 5 minute nightmare of like trying to get our dogs back in the house. And so now I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
think like, is it a liability to bring the dog or is it a
What
bonus?
kind of
Is it
dog
gonna
is it?
help? He's a border collie and he's really well trained. He's not super
Um,
big, but he's like about knee height.
yeah. Uh, I mean, there will be people that that's a negative to them, like no matter what, there's the
Yeah.
people that are allergic or people that are scared of dogs. But then there's also people that love dogs and would love to talk to you about your dog and pet your dog.
Yeah.
And so, um, gosh, it's kind of a gamble.
It is a gamble. I was talking to my buddy about it yesterday, and we were like, it goes both ways.
Yep.
So like maybe I'll
Yep.
just
I
bring
think
him to the
more
dog
people
parks.
like dogs than dislike dogs.
Right.
So if you were to survey 100 people, I bet like 70 would be like, yeah, let's do it. And then 30, 20 would be like, I don't really care. And then 10 would be like, don't do that. Like kind of an idea. That being said, I know, so Diana Kokoska, who created MAPS coaching and Bold and all of these great trainings that we do, she actually used to go door knocking with her kids. She'd put them in a wagon and bring her kids door to door with her. And people seem to love that. Now their kid's not a dog, but if your dog's cuter than her kids, maybe it's a net positive.
That's so funny. That's emotional manipulation. She's cheating.
Yeah, I was just thinking my kids wouldn't stay in the wagon. If I knocked on a door and had a 5 minute conversation, I would have to leave because they'd be running around like crazy. So good for her. Um, but what you could do is you could run it like an experiment. Go to similar type houses, similar scenarios, and do some with the dog and some without. Um, I think one of the biggest positives about having a dog is like the other day I was driving home and I saw these two guys in orange vests door knocking in on my street. And I went inside and my son was sitting there with his friend and I said, "Hey, if someone knocks on the door, just don't even go get it because it's door knockers." Like I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I was getting ready to mow the lawn, like all of these things, and I just didn't want to deal with it. And so I was like, "Don't even answer the door." If you show up with a dog, you are not a solicitor. People aren't being like, oh, what is this guy going to sell me? It's almost like a neighbor with the dog coming to tell you something.
Exactly.
So I think it probably removes some walls and some barriers that people have uh, by having the dog because they're more likely to answer and talk to you than not. You will get the few that are like, I'm allergic or I don't like dogs or whatever, and you'll miss out on those. But would they even talk to you anyway? So,
And I think it's like such a solid foot in the door because the people that do like dogs or even kind of like dogs, they always want to say hi.
yeah,
And so I think, I don't know, maybe it is worth it. You'd kind of lose out on that 20-30% that don't like dogs. But the numbers, getting the 70% with a stronger reaction and like interaction might be worth it.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I
Also
like
run
what
the
you said
test.
about like it disarms people.
Yeah, go knock like 10 doors with no dog, see how it goes, then knock 10
Yeah.
doors with the dog, see the difference. And I mean, maybe you'll have to do more than 10 to get a good like sample size to see if it's working or not. Uh, but my hypothesis is that it would disarm people and make initial conversations easier. Um, the the chances that you get like inside the house and close them for a listing with a dog, I bet that's zero. Without a dog, it's probably like 1%. So you're probably not missing out on a lot there. Um, just kind of changes the dynamic, but it helps that intro.
That's
So
a good point.
test it.
But even if I did need to get into the house, I actually have he's pretty trained to like stay outside. I could probably even just leash him up somewhere and take care of an appointment if I needed to, if it came to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I test it out, see how it works, see if you get better results with or without it. Be interesting to see.
Right on. I'm going door knocking today for my open house this Saturday, so I'll probably test it out. I'll let you know how it
Okay.
goes.
Okay. And then everyone on the team will just have to get a dog. Or even better, I have two dogs that I would love someone else to have. They're
That's
really
a whole
good.
side business. You can rent my dog for door knocking.
Neighborhood dog expert. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Okay, well, we have an awesome Rise class today. If you can, this is one that you should make it. It is Peter Morkel, who is like one of the top agents at the brokerage. He has his own team. He closes deals like crazy. It seems like business just comes to him, and he has built his business off of being him. He's got great scripts, great dialogues that are all very easy to emulate and copy. And he's going to be talking about working with sellers. So I'm excited to hear from him. So that will be at 9:30 in the large training room if you can make it. Uh, Otherwise, finish off your DTD2. We are on, what are we on? What's today? The 16th. M and X. So finish off those M's and X's. Oh, if you have an X, you have to call it, like whether you know them well or not. Not an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, but X as their first name. So go make those phone calls. We'll see you guys all later.